right, so on our way to dance today, and really just kind of caught myself getting kind of scared of recording or posting. So what to post, what do you talk about, how much editing are we going to need, and so I thought I would just start talking basically. So today we're going to talk about kind of trading and why. If it's sexy and it's increasing your heart rate, then you're doing it wrong. So, it gets a lot of hype for sure on YouTube and the internet as a get rich quick, as anyone can make, income and retire at any age. It just takes time and effort, and they really downplay the amount of time. And ultimately, what all else you should be doing besides actually, making the trade. So I think we'll kind of start. There's a bunch of different ways to trade, of course, right? There's a couple different instruments, right? We have stocks, options, futures, and other derivatives, depending upon where you are in the world, that you can trade, buy, sell, and make money on, or lose money, of course. And so first you've got to pick out, which one of those you want to do, or a combination of all the above. That's fine also. Next, you need to decide what type of trader you are. Are you a, home run hitter? You like to shoot for the moon, big wins. And I say that because big wins usually come with low win rates, or percentage chance of being correct, or being right, being profitable, any of those terms. Or are you the type that just wants to be right? You don't care if it's a big winner, $1 million, or $10, but you want to be right in your assumptions that you made. Hey, the stock's going to go this way, and I'm going to get out as soon as I'm a penny profitable, or what have you. So those are usually the two big dichotomies, and then of course you can fall anywhere in between. So I personally am kind of struggling with this yet again. So in the past, I've done a bit more of the home run style. Oh geez, phone sliding here. All right. Oh no. That's right. So, and it's changed because I realized my personality was more, I wanted to be right, or at least have a bit more of a reason behind it. And so I pivoted more to options, because options have a lot more math behind them, and you can make them more, you can make yourself more of a robot, an emotionless thing, which is helpful in trading, because then you can rinse and repeat. And if you find a strategy that works, and it works, 70% of the time, options are a good way to help with making sure that works every time. And it helps for someone who's a little more logical like me understand, okay, why didn't it work? Or in case of my trading journey earlier in the year, things did not go well the first couple weeks of the year. And so it helped me understand, okay, the way I trade is 70% chance. We're just working on the 30s right now. So that helped me. So that's something that you'll have to find out about yourself, and that's why I think trading is a lot more of an emotional roller coaster than a financial one. I've learned more about myself and my likes and dislikes, my emotional states. I've gotten a lot better at containing the emotions, or maintaining, just depending upon what's going on. The highs aren't as high and the lows aren't as low, but that's ideal, in my opinion at least, of when you're trading, because you don't want the euphoria to kick in and start to make you feel invincible, and you don't want the depression to set in where I'm no longer a trader, I gotta go get a new job or something. That's never fun, and those swings are terrible. So if you can just kind of even them out a little bit, make it a little bit more of a straight line, even better when it comes to trading. So you're going to learn all this. For me, it's taken about mean, I had some mild success trading Forex in the first 3 to 4 months. But I think it's because I paid for it. I paid for a pretty expensive educational course. And I know a lot of people, don't want to pay for courses, or there's plenty on YouTube and that sort of thing, which is 100% correct nowadays. This was 4 or 5 years ago. But there's a lot of junk on there too. So paying for a course I thought was valid because it kind of filtered out a lot of the trash. But you don't have to. You can find or stumble along on your own, or read a cheap book, $40 or $50 book that you found on Amazon or something like that, and get started. But ultimately, even if you have some success early on, it's going to take, I would say years at a minimum before you really gain the confidence that, someone comes to you and says, hey, here's $1 million, go trade it for me. And you will reply at that point, however much time it takes you to get to the point where your reply to that is, hell yes. Here's my terms. It's not I don't know, maybe, or you start to get, the heart rate starts to pick up and you're like, it's someone else's money, I'm not sure. Maybe I'll trade differently, maybe I'll be too conservative, what if I lose it all? If you have any of those thoughts, then you're not confident enough in your trading. Oh, and of course the sun's coming out. Can't see me, but that's all right. So, so for me it took about 4 years. I'm getting there now. I feel comfortable for sure. But I'm not quite, my track record isn't quite there in my opinion. I think I need a 3-year track record showing, profit and also consistency. So this year for me is to remain consistent, but also figure out how the back testing and the recording can be displayed to a potential investor in an editable, a digestible way. What's my risk? What's the max drawdowns? What's the Sharpe ratio or the other risk metrics? The Kelly criterion, that's another one, to help them understand or quantify, hey, okay, he made 30% last year, but there was a couple points where we were down 40%. Am I okay with that as an investor? So kind of, wrapping all this up, you get a lot of news. There was a lot of stuff about GameStop and AMC, and unfortunately, yes, there was some people that made some money. I would argue, and especially from the posts on Reddit, that a lot more people lost money, which is usually more common in situations like that, than won money. And I think, if you catch yourself in those situations, especially if you're not a trader typically, and all of a sudden everyone's talking about it, your mom, dad, grandpa, sister is asking you about it, it's probably in the euphoric stage of the emotional curve, and we'll have a little post here, and of course the phone's sliding again. Good old Missouri roads, really smooth, but and if you look at the curve, euphoric, and Warren Buffett said this before, and many others, you don't buy during the euphoric times. Those are the most dangerous times, because typically that's when all the dumb money is coming in. And in the case of GameStop, that is probably euphoric anywhere north of $250 a share. And so unfortunately, anyone that bought over that, we now know, of course, in hindsight, lost their ass. And unfortunately, a lot of the people towards the end that were getting in were people that didn't have money to lose. And that's unfortunately kind of the lifestyle of trading, at least for the majority of retail investors. So in the first training that I purchased, or education that I purchased, their statistic, which is actually very well proven, 90% of people lose 90% of their account value in the first 90 days of trading. So if you can survive 90 days with more than 90% of your account, you're technically in the 0.1% of all traders in history. So, well, at least in the last, whatever their data set was. So the point, kind of wrapping up here, is it's not, yes, you can make money quickly in the stock market, but if you do, and you're not giving it the credit it's due in the sense of additional education. So if you, for example, if you came in at GameStop and you saw Roaring Kitty's post back in September, and you bought and you held and you made 50 grand in 3 months, good for you, awesome. Not saying that can't happen. But if you think that's going to be the normal or the norm, then you're sadly mistaken. Because a lot of people tried to roll those gains into AMC or BlackBerry or Nokia and lost it back. Oop, I just flicked the microphone. So if you get a quick win, give it the respect that it deserves in the sense of don't assume that's going to happen every time. Put in some effort if that was exciting for you and you found that fun, great. Put in the time and effort that it's due. Give it the respect that it deserves. Or you'll end up getting sucked in, getting excited about it, but not really doing the research and the effort and the back testing, or just giving it time. Like I said, it took me 4 years to get confident and comfortable and consistent. And then they end up losing, 100 grand. And so they're net down 50. And then trading's the worst thing. But then, a lot of times, unfortunately, they get caught by the bug, right? Oh, well, just next time I'll make 100. It's fine, and I'll make it back. And it's a dark spiral. So be careful with what you're doing. Spend the time to learn it, or trade with money you can afford to lose, which you should be doing anyway, so that when you're surprised because, it turns out everything you touch doesn't turn to gold, you're not living in a cardboard box, or severely in debt, or can't make your car payments, or whatever it is. So be careful out there. Again, trading shouldn't raise the heartbeat. It should be confirmation. The money that you win should be confirmation of all your research, not a surprise. You should have targets. Look at my other videos coming up here that will be about profit targets, risk management, and probably a bunch more about options as well. But until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye.